welcome back. So it's been an actual full day for me, and I just loaded it. I think the crusade just ended. So now we're back to this crap show where we have to... Basically, we're fabricating a claim so we can take as much land as we can without upsetting our brother and best friend who should have died. What a weird game this has been, that's for certain. So, let's go ahead and just unpause and let her rip. And maybe turn that up to 4 speed. It's telling me I can imprison my spy master, who I had my little fling with, because she had a baby outside of wedlock. Of course I'm not going to do that. In fact, what I'm going to do is instead of imprisoning her, I'm going to give her a pardon. And let's see. Okay, while performing her duties, she uncovered a secret held by Reeve Seinberg of Grimsby. She seems to be harboring doubts about the Catholic doctrine. Alright, so I got a secret on her, which I could use, but there's no... Like I said, because we're honest and just, there's really no point.
Why not get the official version?
And now we got all kinds of doubts because our wife has just been a total trumpet. Fine. She's gonna lie to me anyways. Okay, let's go to court. Let's get her on preventing me from dying. Alright, a stranger is brought before me, waiting outside the gates. My name is Costanza, Your Highness. I've been traveling far and wide. So let's see what kind of stats. She's a trickster.
What?
And paranoid. She has awful stats. We can get a weak hook on her, which doesn't do us any good, for all the reasons we've already described. We can get a strong hook on her, or just tell her don't come.
You still have no reason to I would have lost.
We're going to at least make her convert to our religion. So we'll do that. And... Oh, I have perks available. So let's see. Let's do this one. This will make them a little tougher. And what that just improved is the strength of these guys, who are only size 1. So they're not very strong, but... Alright, now we're asking whether Josh is really our son.
Are you really going to say that?
I don't think we have anybody else we need to sway. Everybody's got a good opinion of us. Oh, we do have 4 prisoners. Let's demand that they convert to Catholicism before we let them leave prison.
I will never DM
That would be funny. Yep, we're gonna cause all kinds of problems. I'd rather get the money. Oh, there's no money for this one. And no money for that one either. Oh, that one looks like already... Oh, this is Osriad?
Yeah.
Is he was my old diplomat? No. Somebody else. I don't even know who that is.
Just lose. You know you want.
He's deceitful.
Shoot, Flip.
Yeah, we'll leave him in jail.
You have no
Alright.
of this more. Watch this.
So yeah, these people are converting.
I can delete it and repost it.
And these are, I think all those people were people I captured over in Jerusalem. Oh, looks like we have low control here. I can designate a guardian for John. Okay, so this is the peasants. It's a peasant revolt. I'm gonna tell them to stick it, and then basically raise our armies. So we got 2,400 now, which is good. And my daughter Margaret just had a girl. And then Jonah gave birth to a son. That's Alfred's son.
I just did it on that.
Now, you'll see here it says player heir in the middle. Look right in this area. So you'll see it says player heir and marshal. So if we die, this is who we take over as. We will start playing as that character. So he already has an heir, which is good. Very, very good. And it's a son, which of course is very important for this game. So we chose wisely in picking Joanna here. And the peasants are just wiped out and annihilated. Alright, so then we're going to disband our army. And we're pretty close to being able to go to war here.
They were manifesting their destiny.
And so we're going to have to pay 66 bucks. We got some good money. We'll have to... Let's do the war first. So yes, we're going to declare war for our claim. And raise our armies. Which might take a little bit longer because we just disbanded, but actually it wasn't bad at all. And we're going to head on over.
Yeah, but manifest destiny is really boring.
And we already won the war because we took the guy prisoner. So we didn't even have to lay siege. Alright, so all that's disbanded. Let's check out our prisoners here. Pause the game real quick. I don't have anything against these people. I just wanted to land. So, Alpha I thought was pretty good. He's okay. His prowess is only 3. I'm just going to let him go. Let's try the next guy here. Oh, he's deceitful. He's all kinds of nasty. Yeah, you'll stay. This guy actually has a pretty good prowess. He's a good knight. But he's the peasant leader. He's the one that rebelled against us. So, he's not going to care for us very well, but he's a pretty good fighter. So, I'm going to recruit him, but his opinion goes down. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then as soon as he agrees...
Oh, Africa.
Although he may not agree. I guess he didn't agree. Or did I forget to send it? Oh, there he is. And what we'll do is we'll sway him to try to get that opinion of his. So he doesn't rebel against me again. Now, the reason I did it is his prowess isn't the greatest in the world, but it's also not bad. And he's got a really good martial. So,
Right before that.
I'm pretty sure...
I think it was. I think it was 18.
Yeah, there he is. He's one of my knights, actually. So, he's better than my player heir, which will keep my player heir alive a little bit longer, so he doesn't get maimed in battle. Alright, so you can see we're getting revenue from each of these areas. We are at our max, so I can't just keep going on a rampage like I am. But what I can do is, for example, this Duchy of Essex, I could create the title, except my brother is he's a liege, and even though the title doesn't exist, he basically has the right to it. So he holds that title, because I'm basically just a baron because I control just a county, whereas he basically has 4 duchies under his control. And when you see that there's no... So what you're seeing here is, like, when I select him, you can see he has control over each of these regions. That's the reason why you have the blue banner. So he's controlling all of these himself. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, just like we have 7. And so those are all being directly managed by him. Everywhere that we took were vassals of his. So he basically gave that land to one of his vassals and allowed them to manage it. And we had a claim on all of it. We have a claim on even this stuff, but it's just that he's our brother, so we're not going to ever press that claim. So he has 1 claim on Anglia here, and then we have... So if we pick ourselves here, we still have 2 claims. We have 1 on Gloucester and 1 on all of Wessex here. So we could theoretically declare war on him. Because we have claims on that land. It's just that it's not going to go well because we're honest and just, and he's our brother and our best friend. However, this piece here is fair game. I could declare war on the Kingdom of Mercia to try to get that land. And in fact, there's claims everywhere. There's my claims. Alfred has a claim. John, Joshua, all of my kids basically have a claim. And this is Mom's territory, my wife. Or I could do my claim, which is this area here. And you can see that our army is actually stronger than theirs right now. So we could try to do it. I would rather be a part of... So, like, this is actually her area, so I'd be declaring war on my own wife to take Joshua's claim. Because, like, if you click on, this is our child here, these are all his claims, right? So, most of this should be in the areas I control. See? He's got claims on all of that. And then he has claims on his mom's area. And then both of those belong to my wife or his mom, right? So he's got a claim on both. And then
That's fine.
when we die, he's only going to get Dorset and London. All the other ones are going to get split amongst my other children. So they're going to be sort of at odds with each other. So this is the part where this game actually has become very hard. Because if I would have at least become the Duke, the fact that they get the counties isn't as big of a deal. Because the King of England, there's only 1 title that's over all of the others. And as long as the player heir, gets that title, it doesn't matter that, maybe you don't have direct control over certain counties. Although we have talked about how some counties get you more money than others. But whoever gets your highest ranked title, your realm capital, which is in London right now, the realm capital always goes to your heir. That is the one thing you can guarantee. So when they divide things up, and I apologize, my son is trying to talk in his own video game, and it's coming through. The big thing here is that London will always go to whoever my primary heir is. That is never up for negotiation. Like, the game auto splits. Like, I don't have control over how this gets split. So the game figured out who's getting what. But London here, this one, because it's my realm capital, that always goes to my primary heir. Okay, that's the one guarantee in life. And if I was the King of England, for example, then the King of England title, along with London County, would go to my primary heir. And then, the dukes underneath him or the counties underneath him might still get divided up. But if you're at least at the top, you're still in control of the whole realm. What's going to happen here if I die is my player heir, Alfred, is going to get he'll get this county here, and he'll get this county here, and then all of my other children are going to get these other counties, and they're going to be peers. Like, Alfred's not going to have superiority over them. He's not going to have any dominion over them. Yeah, so those are going to be... it's going to be just like the situation we just had. Remember, we sort of fabricated claims and declared war on all the other peers and took the counties from them. So in doing so, we grabbed this land for ourselves. So we basically kicked our peers out and said that's land's ours instead. Well, my children are going to end up fighting with each other. So if we ever take over, we're going to have to go to war with our own brothers to take that land back, so we could get right back to where we already are right now. Unless I can become the Duke, right here, the Duke of Essex. If I become the Duke of Essex, then this whole area is mine, and even if my brothers control specific counties within the area, yeah, you're not going to get as much tax revenue. There's some impact there, yeah. but you will be their liege, right? They'll report to you, and you'll have dominion over them, and so it's not as bad. So it's a bad situation, and we need to be able to create a title, and I just can't. Now, one thing I can try to do is if I take over the Kingdom of Mercia, I can appoint myself to be the Duke of Mercia. That's me going off and right here, the petty Kingdom of Mercia. So you can see it's a pretty big area, and I can become the Duke of that. But right now I only have a claim on this one county here. So that's the issue. I'd have to fabricate more claims, which is fully doable. So, I mean, we could go to war and at least just take this one, which is already ours. We can give one of these to our kids. Or you know what? We could declare war on this one and still... Let's fabricate a claim over there. Yeah, let's do that. And so... Alright, so they're asking me to give a guardian to my boy here. He's got a disputed heritage. That's right, because somebody claimed to be his dad. And he's rowdy. Oh, so he's still going to inherit my stuff, even though... So they're saying they want him to be the ward? What's his skills? Oh. No, I'm not so sure about that. I could sure use a diplomat. So let's try that. And... which one was he? He was John. He's on it. Oh, come on. He already picked intrigue. I wanted him to be the... oh, I was able to change it. He's 7. I didn't think I was able to change it. Okay. So, the part I struggle with this game, and I'm still learning, is, let's say I take Gloucester, however you pronounce it. I'm going to be over my domain limit. I will have 8 domains. I need to give one to a vassal. Let's say I give it to one of my children. If I give that to John, which is not my direct heir, so we have Joshua, Philip, and John here. So if I give it to John, you can see here, John's going to get Buckingham, right? If I let him have Gloucester, and he already has a realm, does that mean that, more will be given to my other kids? I don't fully know that answer, and it's sort of like an experiment for me. My understanding is that they divide whatever you have direct control over evenly. It doesn't matter what ones they already have control. So if I give one to John, then he gets Gloucester and he's going to get Buckingham. Like, he'll get both. So in some respects, I want to just give everything to Alfred and let him have this. But the problem, and here's a bigger problem. if I give Gloucester to Alfred, he's going to be my peer. I'm not going to be his liege, because I'm not a duke. So that's the issue. There's a big issue with this.
It's only a 10 to 20 year difference.
Okay, gonna have some more efficiency.
No, it's really not.
Alright, and here's some Vikings raiding, but they left our area, and there was some low control issues, so let's see if we can get that fixed. Alright, so here, I'm starting to become paranoid. So I'm waking up and not even know how I got there.
Talking about Germany. No real Jews were given their hands back.
So Josh was trying to steal.
Died.
He confessed that he thought he could get away with it, but now knows it was wrong. Yeah, let's let him stay honest. And there I am. Oh, I'm possessed.
Look,
So I just gained the trait possessed.
I don't think it's our fault.
So I get a moderate penalty, so I'm not going to live as long.
After 1960.
And I do get an extra 10% to my monthly learning. That part's funny. And then, look, this guy, he was the peasant leader and is now one of my knights. He is angry, as you can see, because he was forcibly recruited and all that other jazz, but he now has an overall +6, which is good.
Kids, they
Yeah, and we'll let them
completely your own fault.
let them be diligent. So it's saying I can declare 2 wars, so I can go after Normandy, which is an interesting. That's another interesting angle. Is just start taking land somewhere far away. Because these guys are Vikings,
Maybe that might
I can go after the whole duchy, and I can become a duke. They have troops that are similar to me, so I'm not necessarily going to win this war. But that is a very interesting idea.
Look, Nathan, I think it's
I think before I do that, I want to increase the size of these, and you'll notice my tax base went down because it's going to take a lot more taxes. And then the other one we can do is we can go after Mercia. Basically, we go to war with them, which is a big battle. They actually have less troops, which is interesting.
Because you know you can get
Okay,
Nathan, you can get
one more thought.
What's it called? For literal free.
I lost my thought. There was something that popped into my mind, and I was like, I gotta do this, and
At some college
now I don't remember.
And then others they'll give you a discount.
Alright, so... Oh, come on. Oh, if we had a holy order, they help you with your battles against Vikings, because they're considered heathens. But see, you have to hold a kingdom or an empire. See how we have all the other boxes checked? This happens when our brother dies. And I know I keep bringing that up, but that's the point. Is if he would have died, I would have already been able to found a holy order, and boom, I would have had... They actually have an army that is at your disposal, and it's pretty much free. So,
what I'm saying is perfectly true.
So then we come here, and basically we want to just keep getting our revenue up. I don't think we can build any of these buildings yet.
Well, then,
So then what we're going to do is we're going to build here,
there are some kids,
and we'll come over here, because we know that our heir is going to get Dorset, and so I'm going to try to increase the tax. Jason, can you please stop arguing while I'm recording?
Don't record!
Don't do that to me, please. Okay, so I think I'm going to try to do Normandy. I mean, this is already a bizarre game, so let's be even more bizarre about it. This fabricating the claim thing, I'm not sure how advantageous that is. In order to declare holy wars, you need a lot of piety, so I may want to flip him back up to here, because he generates 0.9 a month when he's up here. But I'm going to let him go ahead and finish the claim first. Okay, so Bastardita is now finished, and she got a 3-star intrigue. Alright, so I have Dorothea over here, who's got 18, and Bastardita should show up here. And there she is, look, she's got a 20. So my daughter is just rocking it. So I'm going to make her my spy master. And you can always make a woman your spy master or your physician. Like, that is always available. Now, my wife actually is in control of land. Now, if she were in my court, she could actually be a counselor for me. But the problem is she's not in my court, she's in the court of Mercia, which, that's the part that's bizarre about this. I've never had a game where my spouse has just gone the whole game. Okay, so I got my daughter is just rocking this, bastard or not. Actually, she has the intelligent trait, so she wasn't a bastard. Because she got that from me. Oh my gosh, I named her wrong. I wasn't thinking it through. She's a legit daughter. And look at this. I named her so badly. Alright, so what do we need? We got a 21 diplomat, who's actually really good. We actually need a better steward. So we can have her marry King Louis of West Francia, which is pretty amazing, because this guy he's the king, like the bigwig. Oh my gosh. That would be a very powerful army to help us defeat the Vikings in Normandy, right? But the problem is, she will leave my court and go be a part of his family. Or I can make it matrilineal, and you'll notice that king disappears, because he's not willing to come to my court. He's got his own land. But we could then click on this, and you can see Adelhard here. He's craven. He's not very fertile. But he'll be an awesome steward. Or we can pick Lamberto, who's also intelligent, which is great, except he's 42. I mean, I guess having children is more... She needs to be the younger one. So he could potentially have good children still. Brave is great. Callous is not so great for the daughter. I mean, he is a pretty good hard worker. I don't usually want to get paranoid people. Or vengeful. From an age perspective, this is the perfect guy. But it would be nice, because if they both have this, then they can pass that on to their children, which may or may not be a part of my heir at some point. Let's give this a try. I know he's old for her, but we'll try it. Okay, boom. So now my Reeve here is not going to be happy, because he's got this little fist. But too bad, too sad. A 21 skill steward is amazing. And so we're going to get him in there, and if my Reeve is unhappy with me, I can just work on swaying him. Which isn't bad when you can do it one at a time. Where did he go? See these little red fists? These are the ones that are angry. They're not on my council. They're all positive, although this one's barely positive. We'll go ahead and sway him. Get that positive number up a bit higher. Alright, so you can see here there's some raiders. This guy's toast. He can't hold up. Now, there is one other option. Like, when you're a king, which I'm not, you can go to Cornwall here, right-click on him, and down in this area will be integrate, or it's not integrate, but basically they can just diplomatically join your kingdom. Vassalize, that's what it's called. I can't do that because I'm not of a higher rank. Alright, so Margaret is getting busy. So
Yeah, that's people that are working.
she just had a son.
Nathan,
And you know what? I think we're going to try to do this Normandy thing. Let's give it a shot. Otherwise, this game's getting boring. So we're going to declare war. We can go for a single county, which is cheap, 40. Or we can go for the whole duchy, which is what we're going to do for 80. And he does have a very large army, and he has an alliance, so he's going to be able to get some help. So that part's not good. I'll be able to ask my wife for help, and I think I will do exactly that, because this is going to be a bit of a battle here. I'm going to call her to help. By the way, when you do that, it costs you prestige points, so always be mindful of that. Let's raise our army, and so we got a semi-decent army, and let's just go straight for their capital.
Kate, what game do you have that
So it's going to cost 26 gold to go into sea. We're losing 2 gold a month because I made my armies a tad bit bigger. And this will make them march quicker. Alright, so wherever his armies are, they're not here. Maybe it's him that's doing the raiding up here. Well, that's awesome. Just look at that flag right there. See that flag? I think he was the one up here doing the raiding. So we sort of caught him with his pants down, and his army was... There it is. Yeah, his army was overseas. Yeah, he's still raiding. So if I can take his headquarters...
Well, wait. No, there's 4 people. Wait,
Sure. Oh, he's still raiding. That's awesome. Just take him down.
Okay, so...
Got about 10 days. Boom, 37% war score. Then you can see my wife here is actually
bruh.
taking that up there. And I'm going to go down and let's just grab some more land. Get that war score up. We have to get it up to 100%.
Yes.
And we may have to defeat his army. Because when you win a battle against his army, you do get... Alright, so Josh is up in age. And he's quick and a fortune builder. But his skills aren't that good.
What do you think I'm asking you to go get freaking forage for?
Oh, no, there he is. He's up to 16. So he must have got a big bump right here. So he's at 16. Not quite as good. And here's where I'm going with this. He's not quite as good as 21.
No, it's not. It's garbage.
However, as much as I love my daughter...
I don't have any frost resistance.
And her husband...
I've just lost all of
my kids need to build up their skills. And if they're in charge... See how you have that little green drop? They're part of your dynasty. You want your dynasty in here as much as possible. Because when he starts getting his own land, he'll have...
I have watched videos. It's not good.
His own lifestyle points. So he'll be building up his own tree, even though you're not controlling him directly.
I've watched videos on it. It is not a good game. It's just garbage. No, it doesn't. It sucks.
Alright, so this guy must be helping him. So Bohemia is coming all the way from across Europe to take this land back. He's a jerk. We should be able to kick Bohemia out, though. Let's finish taking our land. Our war score is up to 74%. And then let's go... Yep, so our wife is going to join forces with us. And then this little plus means we're likely going to win. And then you want the green number here. That green number is important.
I heard that.
And
I hated you for that. I hated you so much.
Yeah, so we've seen this before. We're going to do both. And I'm going to pause real quick. So, a couple of things. These are the 4 phases of battle. So there's an early battle phase, an archery phase, and then an actual battle phase, and then of course when they're retreating. And then this is like the greens here just show the different mercenaries we have. He's got more than we do, but we have more knights. Now you see the word champions. That's just the tribal way of saying knights, because they're not Christian, so they just use a different word. And we're winning because we just they actually had a superior quality of army, but our knights were we had more knights, and then of course my leadership skill. I mean, just think Napoleon here. Having a good commander sometimes makes the world a difference, and that's what happened here. Oh, excuse me. And I took a lot of prisoners, but we'll worry about that after the war's over, which is actually now. So I'm going to go ahead and enforce the demands, and then boom, I got the entire duchy for myself, and I'm going to disband my army so I can start making money again, and all kinds of problems now, right? I'm at 14 out of 7, so I'm going to have to start, giving up my land. But before I do that, I gotta make the Duchy of Normandy, and it's going to cost 250, and I don't have 250, so I need to wait a little bit. I'm going to ask the Pope for some money here, and maybe we can ransom. I'm going to get 50 from that. I can negotiate an alliance with this guy. Okay, sure. And then Joshua can marry. So this is an interesting one. I don't need a physician or anything. He's, you know what I can do? I'm going to have him marry somebody who's got a really high stewardship. And then what she's going to do is she can boost his stewardship to make him better. She is perfect, although being 32 years old, he may not get any children, which that's not perfect. And then she's nice and young, but she's got a lower fertility. That's not good. 32 should be doable. Yeah, let's try it. He's not my direct heir, so maybe we don't care as much if he has kids. Alright, so lots of stuff just happened. I just got enough money. You don't want to give up your areas until you form the title. Because right now, I'm a count. And if I give this to somebody, they're also going to be a count. So even though they're my children, they're going to be parallel to me and no longer underneath me. And you want to keep the power, right? So by forming the Duchy of Normandy, I'm going to become a duke. And I can't, because my liege is a duke. So I can't become a duke if my liege is a duke. Oh, come on. So now what's happening is, since I'm over my limit, all my taxes and levies are being reduced, and oh, come on. Why didn't you die? Look, his son died. Yeah, his children, he died. His primary heir is the Queen of West Francia instead of me. I don't understand that. So the Queen of West Francia will be his heir. Oh, because it's his daughter. See, now, like, if you were not honest and just, the best thing to do would be to murder her. Like, if I do that, I'm going to gain 84 stress. And there's only a 5% chance, and there's an 80% chance that people are going to figure out that I tried to do this. That's not good. Now, I could put her down to help me with the scheme. So then it jumps to a 20% chance. and a 35% chance I can keep it a secret.
Yeah.
That's with my daughter, Bastardita, helping me. Just not good. All because this jerk happened to have kids. My best friend. I should be happy for him. But I need... The other thing I can try to do is just become independent, which I don't know... Yeah, you can't do it against an ally or a friend. Yeah, I'm just so stuck. And I mean, I didn't even know his son died. I don't know what happened to cause his son to die. Oh, look at those bubbles on him. He got the plague or something. Oh my gosh. Oh, here we go. Died from the Bubonic Plague in 888 at age 19. That's not good. And look at what that... I mean, ew. They definitely go all out with this. Okay, so that was actually a mini blessing. I mean, look at it. He's living up to 54. Jeez Louise. But she's 22 and healthy. In fact, she's pregnant, which makes it even worse. I honestly don't know what I can do. And I don't want to go to war because, I mean, I got all of West Francia that would go to war with me. I need this guy to let me go. Let's see, maybe there's an option here. I have guaranteed council rights. I already am on the council, so that's not an issue. I can declare war regardless of his authority. I sort of do that already. He can't revoke my title. I'm not worried about that. And none of those help me.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to just say, let's start another game. Because here's... I mean, I know I've explained this before, but just to reiterate that I'm over on my domain limit. I need to give this up.
We could just
so somebody else can manage it. But the moment I do it, it becomes...
Dude, I have a speech that I have to do for 3 minutes straight. And it's about 1 author, and I don't know how...
So, and here's the other problem, is, okay,
English, of course.
I can grant this to somebody. So, I tend to like to come in here and I can do... This is my family name, right? So I want to keep it in the family, right? So here's my voice. I can give it to my grandson. I can give it to my son. But let's say I give it to John. He's the youngest, right? If you'll notice that my player error is not showing up on the list. And here's why. I think the moment I give land to one of my children, they become a peer of mine, and they're no longer in the line for succession. So this actually might be quite a blessing. So let's see. I'm going to give this piece of land. Well, let's give something that's not as important, because we're going to experiment here, right? So let's give...
Oh, wait.
Let's give this one to John. Okay? So I'm going to grant the title. He's going to become a vassal of the petty kingdom of Wessex, because their rank is now equal to mine. So he's going to be a vassal of my brother instead of me. So he's going to basically leave my court. He's going to my brother's court. But he will have a high opinion of me because I'm giving him this title. And in all honesty, in real life, if these were my actual boys, I have 2 boys actually, I would be so proud of them to be at the same rank as me. And I would gladly give this land to them. But from a game playing perspective, I don't want to do that. Alright, so let's give this to him and see what happens. just a quick reminder. With the secession, John is going to take 3 pieces of land. He's going to take Avranches, EU, this one, and Buckingham, which is up here. So we're going to give Avranches to him now. So we're going to give this to John. Oh, come on. I make that mistake all the time. Grant to John. Now. Alright, so he is now a fellow vassal. So now when I go to my secession planning, oh, he still shows up. And now he's still getting 3 pieces of land. You jerk. Now, my player heir is getting 4.
It's over.
See, I was hoping that by him being somebody else's vassal, that he would stop inheriting my land. But that's not the case.
It's a joke. You don't need to take everything so sexist and racist. Holy.
Why would I not want to give everything to Alfred then?
And also,
because that would be the strategy, right? Give everything to Alfred.
Because it is freedom of speech, which is a little weird.
Let's unpause for a quick second here. Because John should not be in my court anymore. Since he's a vassal of somebody else, his liege is now him. His primary heir is my son Alfred, his brother.
Look, I wanna play comp, man. Okay, I don't like just fighting the AI. It's so boring. Also, ban this Maruko guy. No,
but yeah, he's still gonna inherit half of my stuff. It's all because of this dang, and I haven't explained this much, but it's called Confederate partition, and what that does is it partitions your land equally amongst all your male heirs. Because it's got the male preference thing. And you might say, well, hey, just change it. You really can't. Because, see, you have to have limited crown authority to go from Confederate partition to regular partition. And then eventually this high partition. Like, there's all these choices, but none of these choices are available until you have high crown authority. Now, what does it mean by crown authority? My crown authority is a 1. I need to go to 2, 3, and 4. I can't go to 2 until I have plenary assemblies, which is this whole tech thing. So plenary assemblies, as you can see, is barely moving. And I can't change that because my brother is the head of the family. And so he's controlling all that. So, anyways, I know I sound like so when I'm sitting here at my computer desk, I sound like I'm basically at an Indian help desk, don't I? Because I got you could hear all my coworkers on their calls. And so both of my boys are playing online video games with their friends, and so yeah, it's basically like calling the help desk, and you're getting somebody in India, and you're hearing all the neighboring cubicles. So I apologize for that. I'm Jeff. I keep it real.
I'm not that
so
good. Not good.
I don't know what to do here, because
yeah. Except I'm literally going to go authoritative.
Let's grant this to somebody.
Just because you said that.
See, I can give these to my kids.
You want me to prove my power? Yeah, I'll prove my power.
But you'll notice John is not showing up anymore. So let's give one to Philip.
Yeah, down first. literally, I'm just gonna.
I gotta give them away anyways, folks, because I'm over my limit. So it's not like this. I'm not gonna get extra money by greedily holding on to these. And then let's give this one to Josh.
And then bam.
Oh, and see what's happening? Oh, I lost Josh as my steward because he's now in my lieges. So let's get Lamberto back. None of my lieges council. Maybe Josh will take over because he's got a better score.
Why not? I'm pretty great. You know what?
Okay, so this guy is asking me to join his war against Gwynedd.
Like I just said, you were funny. You're a funny man. Sometimes.
So Gwynedd, which is just this tiny little area, and then who? him and all of this. It's a war against tyranny. So basically, he's trying to get independence. If I decline, I lose a whole bunch of fame. So I'm going to say accept and then just not help. Alright, so let's keep looking at this. If I wanted to give this away, see, it's now we're talking grandchildren here, and they would leave my court as well. If I say all, I can give it to like my knight, but see, whoever I give it to leaves my court, so they're no longer available to me. So if this guy's my knight, I'm going to lose my knight. I don't necessarily want that. However, I may want to get rid of some of these people with a fist. I don't think they'll leave though, because they're already my vassal.
You got clone.
So yeah, I already made a mistake by giving stuff to Josh, because then I lost him as my counselor. So if I gave this to Lamberto, he would end up leaving my council. I don't want to do that. So maybe I should just continue to just give it to people in my family. So sure, I'll give my grandson one. And then here, see, this is a really nice one.
Just gonna burn it into his mind. You got Roger.
Prayer halls, that's very nice.
You got Roger.
Alright, we'll give it to my other grandson. How did I lose a chance?
Asking me if we're gonna do a historical game like that.
Okay,
you know.
That must be. That's because he was the husband of my daughter, who I just gave the land to. Oh, come on.
Okay.
See how I'm just screwing myself over here?
That's a good idea.
Okay, she wants to be, and a 12 is not that much worse than a 14. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And I'm still over my limit by 2, so I got to give away these 2 areas. And this is where, like, okay, now Alfred's showing up. He's my heir, and if I give it to him, then he leaves my court. Even though he's my heir, he still will leave my court, and then I'll lose him as my marshal. But the good news is by giving it to him, I'm guaranteed to have that land once he takes over. But let's check something real quick. So right now, he's going to get 3 pieces of land from the secession. He's going to get Dorset, London, and then one of these French ones. And sure enough, they're still dividing it up equally. Alright, I don't want to give this to I want to give it to my son, but I don't, because I know what's going to happen.
We're doing historical. Historical. Right. British colony in America. Historical? Question mark?
I got to give it to somebody else.
It is historically accurate. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. It can happen again. Right.
I think there's a way you can.
And then we take New England from him, just to spite him, and then we puppet the rest of it.
I don't want to give it to a vassal.
No. Wait. Oh yeah. We take New York and New England, and then give it to Canada.
Yeah, let's do unlanded. I thought this is unlanded. Oh, that's a lowborn. I'm sorry.
So
landed. See, these are all my vassals.
Wait. No. We should just give them Canada. We should give Canada Kansas. Because what's your least favorite country in the world? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's really. So basically, we're gonna just pick somebody who's not one of my knights or vassals. So like this person's my courtier. The problem is, as soon as I give this to him, let's say he dies, he's not going to give it back to me. He's going to give it to his children. That's
what about that?
So basically, I fought for this land, and now I'm just giving it all away. That's the part I don't like about this. But this guy's not very helpful to me, so I'm going to go ahead and...
Wait, what?
I'm giving it away anyways because I'm not... I get tax penalties for being over my limit. So, the tax is actually literally 0. See this? That's for being over my limit. It just refuses to give me... Like, the game punishes you hard. You can't sit there and say, oh, well, I'll just hold on to it. I mean, you can, but you're not going to get anything. So you better be holding on to it because you know for sure that in the next year or two, something's going to change. Like, I knew I could create a duchy, or I thought I could, but now I've learned I can't create a duchy. So, all right, let's give this... He's a blade master and all kinds of stuff. Why is he not one of my knights then? Whoa! He's a 30. How's he not a knight?
I think we should just give Kansas to Canada.
Why is he not showing up here? Holy buckets! Is he not? Oh, he's not in my court. Whose court is he in?
And then leave him with Louisiana.
This guy's amazing.
Wait, Eclipse, what is your least favorite
he won't accept because...
In the U.S. Yes.
He has a base reluctance of -50, and if I increased his opinion of me, he might join me. Interesting. Very interesting.
Go fast. Minnesota. Okay,
we'll give it to him. Alright, so they're all fellow vassals, which, yeah, it stinks.
Okay, go fast.
So, and see, if I zoom out enough, you can see now it's all part of Wessex, which is my brother's kingdom.
Okay.
And unfortunately, she's going to get all of it, because she's the primary heir. And that's what stinks the most. Alright, so I can help out with this war here. Who's winning? This is the enemy army.
Okay, so
basically,
New York.
Our nephew's getting trounced.
Maryland,
should we help him?
Idaho, Montana,
If
Arizona,
we help him...
New Mexico, and Wisconsin, and Illinois.
Alright, let's help him. And... like I said, always take their capitals. And see, they're going after his capital. So we may have to help kick them out. Which this may not be a win. Oh yeah, they're running away. Definitely a win.
Okay, you really should.
Alright, we got green numbers, which is good. Green numbers means we're doing double damage to them. And yeah, that just boosted the war score big time. Then we'll go up. So while they're running away, you want to immediately start trying to siege a castle, because they will spend some time running away, and it gives you ticking time, like, because it's just a matter of time before the siege wins. And so they ran away, and now they're coming back. You see that? But because they're coming back, it's they're gonna wreak havoc of their own. And so you want to finish your siege before you can move away. Anyways, it's just a small little thing. So peasants are getting a little annoyed, and you can see that there's no actual person.
I don't think you can fly.
It's just a small faction. The peasants are usually never a big threat, but they tend to come during times like this when your armies are already elsewhere. That could be a problem. So here, my archers are going to get plus 30% damage.
Eclipse. Don't even try it. Eclipse,
so we're going to take this one down.
Everything you love.
And, okay, and if you haven't noticed, but the blue is our allies, and the red is our enemies. and the blue flame is an ally thing. So we just took that little piece of land, and now we got to go kick their army out before they finish taking our buddy's capital. And we are clearly winning. And a couple other things to point out. This is a dice roll, right? So he actually rolled better than us. So he got a +3 advantage. However, we get advantages. And actually, if you just hover over the advantage here, our damage is increased by 42% because we got a 21. And it's because my martial skill is +28. He's at a 14. I'm at a 38. So I cause extra casualties on him, and my raid speed is just higher. And you can see my battle roll was a 6, which gets added. I'm leading my own soldiers. I have a never back down skill. He does have a number. It's just his number's a lot lower than mine. And that's the reason why you see the +21. It's literally 44 minus 23. You get 21. So, and that's the reason I'm getting the extra 40% damage, which is trouncing him. And he actually has more knights than me right now. Actually, how am I doing? I'm at my max knights there. So I won, and now I'm going to go try to take this other capital while they're running away.
How about you just play?
And we're at 20% towards victory here. We're basically single-handedly winning this war for him.
Yeah,
but our knight was wounded. So one of our knights...
the only one that doesn't know how to beat that. You know that,
right? I mean, you don't always walk out of these things unscathed. That's for certain.
You don't really...
And that's our nephew actually winning a war, which helps. And they're trying to attack me, but they're not going to win.
Yeah, just good. Yes.
Okay. Alright. Philip out with a bow.
Heavy tanks are amazing.
Its wounds were evidence of a slow and torturous death. Philip just smiled. Oh no.
You're disrespecting my
Philip.
My authority, my liability, my capability, my
He's sadistic. Oh, I don't want my son to be sadistic.
My understanding,
ambitious is better than paranoid. So we're going to gain some stress. So you can see the stress just went up, but it's not enough to be super concerned. But we are going to have to bring that stress down. And there's some things we can do. Alright, so we got him up to 95% by taking those 2 pieces of land.
Well, go 5 speed.
And let's just see if we can win some more wars here.
That's how it makes me feel okay.
And then he's up to 99%. And now it's 100%. We took some hostages.
Oh, he got you.
Yeah, so the peasants are rebelling, and we won the war. And I forgot to check to see how much. You get prestige and stuff for helping out. We jumped up a bit there. So it's not, like you get nothing for it, but we pretty much got nothing. Just some good YouTube time of showing how the battles work in this game. Our because of my military skill and the amount of troops we have, we are actually pretty tough right now. And yes, I just took the peasant leader.
Imagine.
Someone got injured.
Sick.
Alfred got injured.
There's
All right.
many wrong things with that. Yeah.
So now I wish I had the better physician at the moment. So I can say, do no more than what's necessary. So what that means is, don't do anything experimental. I mean, that's...
You can't say anything else. It is.
It's too late for caution. This is like a high-risk, high-reward kind of thing. Like, you could cure cancer if you do this.
Yes.
You can say there will be no treatment, and that's sort of cruel. Or I can let him decide what kind of treatment he wants. So let my son decide for himself. I'm going to say do no more than necessary.
In Genesis. Actually, no, it's the 3 books in the...
And let's disband our armies.
Yeah.
What do we got? We can rinse inflate for 25. I'm going to do that. Oh, right here. Let's get some more stuff going.
There is a part in Exodus where it talks about one man and one woman. That's also where Sodom and Gomorrah
Okay, and then let's look at our succession. Alfred will get 2.
It's a sin.
And that's it. And John's only going to get 1 again.
One sin isn't greater than another sin.
And he's still wounded, so his health is severely limited. Oh no. Our error is.
Why I call you a false Christian.
Our error is. This isn't good. I may end up losing my heir before I die. How old am I? I'm 48. Oh gosh, my wife is looking beat up. That's what you get for being a tart. She's ill.
Yeah.
Improvident. That means she's been suffering from stress. When you see stuff like this come up, like her income is really low. Yeah, there she's a drunkard. Also comes from stress. Interesting. She's not. Okay, so one of the things we can do is we can host a feast.
Yeah.
And that'll help reduce stress, especially since we're gregarious.
Yes, it does.
And I guess I shouldn't be rushing through this so fast, but okay, so the Reeve Margaret unlatched an enormous cauldron hanging over the fireplace in the middle of the feasting hall. Savory broth welled forth to cover half the room in a sea of stew. The unsuspecting Reeve Bergflade, seated next to the cauldron, was caught by the rushing wave and loudly cursed her ruined appearance as grease ran down her face. Guests rushed to the other side of the hall as the thick mass spread greasy tendrils among skipping feet. So, that's me.
Because that's the devil.
That's Reeve Margaret. And then that must be Bergflade.
Yes.
Okay, so curse this mess.
Look,
I guess I just lose prestige.
We made our decision of leaving Eden. Okay, that's our fault.
So ends another feast. Okay, so there's always like some random event that occurs during the feast. Sometimes it's very helpful. That one cost me some prestige. But here's the thing. My stress went down. I don't know if you noticed it, but it was like halfway up. So I lost like 30 some stress by hosting a feast. That's the whole point of doing it. And then here, Reeve Margaret might carry more shame than satisfaction. Cleaning up will not be cheap. So I'm going to lose $40. But everybody gained 20 opinion of me.
No, he'll
and
definitely.
That actually had another side of bonus of everybody
he's already breaking
has
one sin that cannot be forgiven,
has a higher opinion of me.
Believing in God.
So now we go to Sappers. So the siege progress just gets boosted based on the different types of units.
Theological evidence. Yes.
And remember that guy that was barely liking me? Look, he's up to plus 100. So he's at a minus 40 because he wants a seat on the council, but we got enough other positive things that it totally overrides that. So not having them on the council is not the end of the world. Alright, so this is Job, my grandson, who I gave some of that land to. He wants to be in an alliance. So we'll see. And I got a lot of bling here, so let's figure out a way to make more money. So I'm building there. If we come back to London, I'm going to make another castle. So we can get more tax revenue going. We got 3 things here. There's one of 3 things there. The other thing we can do is I didn't have to build a castle. I could go to level 2. It costs 300, but I could try to raise something to level 2, which would go from 0.7 a month to 1.1 and give me the supply bonuses too. So you don't have to just go straight to building another castle. Okay, so we're on the horse here. Remember, I got injured last time I tried this, but let's try again. Yep, this time I became an experienced rider,
Yeah, you can change
which
the dog and make it
gives me
sound
some
small.
cavalry bonuses,
I've never seen
But
it.
it's
and 100 martial experience, which is always good. And when you look at his martial experience, we need to get 1,000 to level up. So getting 100 is 10%.
You don't have to, but then you're just. Yeah, how are you truly following? I guess.
Okay, so this is me questioning Bastardita, which, remember, that's a trait that I have, not my wife, and she has it. So, of course, she's my daughter. I don't have any question about that.
Yeah, and it's like
That's one of the ways you can know. Too bad it doesn't work that way in real life, huh?
How are you an
I know they got the tests now.
No, you can't. No, you
Okay,
cannot.
so
No.
I'm still stuck because I want to become a duke, and I can't. I can't become a duke as long as I'm reporting to a duke. So he either needs to become a king himself,
I'm not a devout Christian.
and then I can become a duke, or I got to get out of his yoke and have my own kingdom. Which right now I'm part of his kingdom, and I really can't break free.
And God is wrong.
All right, so Philip, I think we were trying to make him
Now,
a diplomacy, and so he got 3 stars. So he's going to get a +6, so he should jump to a 21.
Well, yeah,
He didn't? What a jerk. And he's been betrothed? I didn't do that.
I'm gonna win in the end.
I didn't do that.
You let the devil.
He's already been betrothed to somebody?
Just win, so.
How does this stuff happen? Oh, because he's in his own kingdom. Oh, that's what's happening. Jerky jerk. See, all kinds of downfalls.
Just it's wrong in Christians' eyes.
I mean, we could go to war with this guy, right, and take more land, but I have the same problem I had in Normandy. Really, the only path is I gotta break free from his yoke.
I do not care.
And so, it's just so hard.
Yes, it is. Of course it's
And
that.
if you do, then I'm gonna get pissed. But I will. It is still a sin.
He's my best friend. Dang it. I guess I shouldn't necessarily hold so strongly to it. So either becoming independent or actually saying that the
Yeah, but like the thing with the gay marriage,
Alright, so we unlock strategist here,
look,
which
God loved everyone.
is we got a diplomacy of 1 and we got a martial of 3, and then here you can see the enemy casualties is another plus 25%. So now we're up to plus 50%. You know what? This is going to be a disaster if I don't.
If they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it.
I gotta make a claim for the throne, but see, I can't because he's my ally and friend. Dang it.
It's just,
If he were to die, which he's 59,
Sorry, Whitgill's
she
doing
takes
this
over,
shit.
but then I can claim that the throne was really mine, and then I can go to war against her. That's got to be the plan. There's no other plan I can do. I mean, I think there's a way to maybe break. I can't even say, hey, we're no longer allies. I mean, I could declare war for independence, but his armies are close to mine, or my claims, which will only give me Wessex, but I will finally become a duke if I do that. And then he would keep this land here as his own, and he would get all of this down here as well, which was actually my land that I gave up. But I would at least get this and then the London piece. I can make my own duchies, which this is one duchy right here, and then this is another duchy over here, and then have complete control of them. if I do the Independence War, I have basically the same thing, but then I don't get this extra piece of land. So if I'm going to go to war with him, I might as well get my claims. But what title do I get? I get the Petty Kingdom of Wessex, the Duchy title. So that would make me a peer of his. So my brother, liege, and best friend's title. Oh, it just feels so bad. And here's the thing. You lose 1 level of fame when you do this. Because you're breaking an alliance. You gain attack an ally where everybody hates you. Now he thinks, you know what? I should just wait for him to die.
No, you have an autosave.
I can create a cadet branch. And I can become a head of a new branch of the dynasty.
No.
Sure. Or House Huntington. That's interesting. So I think I'm now in control of my own house.
I don't care.
So we're in the Sertissing dynasty, but we have our own legacy. That's interesting. I've never had that happen before. And there was my proof. I just got an achievement.
Look, man, just keep your ways going. Don't let anyone push you. Because in the Bible it says that society is going to try and break you.
So they're asking me if I want to make sure if he's my son.
People are going to try.
Of course he is. He's got the intelligent trait. My hook on somebody I never cared about just expired. And this one's almost finished with construction. That'll boost my taxes by 0.2. And then this one I think is going to be a while. 3 years are left. But I think I can upgrade. Yes, I can upgrade to level 2 while that's going on. Then John just came of age. And unfortunately, because I gave away the land, oh gosh, he's an awful diplomat. That's because he was the child of that other guy. Alright, I don't have enough knights again. One of them must have died. And I have low county control, so let's see if I can get Wiltshire back up. A knight just arrived. Ooh, that's a decent one. Anything 12 or above is decent. If you can get into the 20s or 30s, that's amazing. Like that one guy was. I mean, I do have claims I can go to war for, but it's really this dude. He is 60 years old. He was supposed to die in his 20s. What a game this has been.
But he does now.
There we go. We got a 17.
If you don't cook, take it out. You want to know how many diseases you can get if you don't cook this?
So, what's next? I'm an hour and 18 in. I know some people might get impatient, like I'm not going up to 5 speed. The 4 speed is like a nice little speed so I can be thinking about what I want to do. But okay. So my contacts have sent me a tome written in some strange code. Its leather covers decorated with my master's symbols. I have only been able to decipher the first few pages so far, but they are deeply fascinating. Okay, this is a satanic book. So don't read more into it than it is, but it's you're going to be getting into witchcraft if you do this. Now, I haven't been brave enough to try it. Like, what happens if you're considered a witch? Like, do you get some special powers? I don't know. So this is the Queen of West Francia. She's my niece. This is the heir to my current liege's throne, the one I'm going to go to war with. And this is Reeve Bergflade. So I can choose to unlock its secrets, which will give me a perk. So 1,000 lifestyle points, right? I just automatically get it. But I'm going to get 48 stress. And then I will potentially have witchcraft, which is, of course, going to be a secret that if somebody gets that, they can expose it and get me in all kinds of trouble with the Catholic Church. I can say I know a fellow believer who would pay gold, so basically you're just going to sell it and get some money. I'm doing okay in the money department. I can give it to Queen, and then she gets the secret of being a witch. And you can see that a witch just says a character who practices witchcraft. I don't know if you get any actual bonus. So really the thing is you're willing to become a witch so you can get a free perk. That's really what that is. Now this will let me get a secret on her, which could get her imprisoned or burned at the stake. Or we can give it to Reeve here. And if we give it to her, then the Queen could still possibly take it. Or the Reeve will burn it. So I'm going to give it to the Queen. Because I don't want her to get the throne. So I'm going to open her up. We'll give her the book, which I left on Queen's desk from the secret passage. Her eyes are drawn to it as soon as she steps over the threshold, almost as if the book possesses its own strange magic. When she finishes reading the translated pages, she begins to pace back and forth. In the the tome's drawl seems impossible to resist. She rushes to the desk and grabs a field. That's right, my friend. Delve deeper and deeper. Oh, this cracks me up so much. Alright, so Bastardita, who's actually been quite awesome for me, just had a kid named Malfred. I got another point, so I'm going to go ahead and serve the crown. It gives me some natural dread. Dread is like how much people fear you. It's like a bad thing because you're considered a tyrant, but it's a good thing because people will be more hesitant to rebel against you. Alright, so this is the Queen here, who I really don't want to have inherit the throne. She's got,
I wouldn't say
she's
that
mothered many children, which is a bad thing. But, let's see. We can gain a hook on her. What good does that do, though? Like, I want to expose it. Like, I want... So we know she's a witch. So, like, could I tell him that she's a witch? What can I do to her? I can... If I excommunicate her... He has a positive opinion of her, but I could use that hook. Oh, the hook has to be on the Pope, not on her. Dang it. So, let's say I blackmail her. I know she's a witch. I'll get a strong hook.
What a question.
And she could form a rivalry with me. But I'm going to gain some stress from this. But let's go ahead and blackmail her. So I gained a witch hook on her. That's great. So now what can I do with that hook? Can't excommunicate her.
Because you chose when you ate the apple.
Can't invite her to court. See, this is where the game starts to fall apart for me, because, like, I don't know how to use this hook to do anything to her. Like, maybe if she becomes my liege, I can use the hook then to force her to make me a duke or something. I've been corresponding with your chancellor, and it's been a shameful... Yep. So basically, my, this dude, or this girl, is not doing very hot.
Well, if they don't believe it,
So...
then he loves everyone.
Alright.
If you love him back, then...
So, a couple messages popped in.
Yeah. No, it's not.
We still don't have enough knights.
No, it's not. There's nothing that ever said that.
So
You never gave anything back to him.
oh, there was a faction formed against Aethelred.
What?
That's interesting. Well, it's just some Catholic populists.
Yeah, but you still have to accept him into your party.
To practice regrouping an army in disarray, I split my troops.
If you don't accept him, then he can't love you.
Independently make their way. This will be an exciting march. Alright, let's do it. We had this before. So I could lose some stress out of this deal. Yeah, let's lose some stress out of this deal.
You're twisting the words. Yes, it is.
Alright, let's get some more taxes going.
Okay.
This will give us more levies, just like that one does.
What do you have to prove?
But this one's slightly better, so we'll go ahead and pick that.
Yeah.
So right now, it's all about figuring out how to get this title from my brother and best friend, who's going to give everything to his daughter. Because my domain limit just went up by 1. So that means I took over something. What did I take over? Oh no, it's because of this castle. Oh, come on. You see this, because I have 2 castles, that's considered another domain.
Technically, it's considered. Yes, normally.
You know what? Oh, I'm going to have to just leave it for now. This is just not going to take any taxes for it. I don't want to give it to anybody. I'll never be able to take it back. Alright, we got another perk. Let's get some control bonuses. Which, right now, we have full control. Oh, and by the way, you can level up your castle to level 2 as well, but you need to have the battlements innovation, which is another one that's going to take forever to get. And he's still doing Banis. He's 64 years old, outliving even the video game itself. Alright, Countess, hiding something about our daughter. This is Margaret. Nope, I know she's my daughter. Boy, look at all that mistrust brewing.
Like people that are making up theories that don't know shit about the topic. Yes, we've read the Bible. That literally is his DM. Nitro.
My sister, Aethelswith, died of old age.
Telling Moses what to write.
Okay, so how does that change anything?
No, he's not.
Those are my children, of course. So my parents. So my sister died. But yeah, my brother's the one that still has all the land. Come on. 64 years old. He's reclusive now. That's a stress thing. You can see he maxed out 2 of his trees.
Yeah.
Let's see. Siege progress.
Yes, from Egypt.
I don't want to die before him. I'm 55, so I'm not a spring chicken. And there it is. I died. As soon as I said that. Dang it. Okay, so I died from a seizure. Then my son, of course, is going to rise up and see how it all split apart. So all these are vassals, and for example, my son got that, but they're vassals to him. Okay, not to me. So I'm going to have to... See, I have claims on everything. See how I have claims on all that? So I can start going to war with all my brothers. But that's basically it. And then I can also declare war on my liege now, because my son does not consider him their best friend. But it's probably in my best interest to reclaim everything I already had first. And then let the king... Because here's the other thing I can do. I can also create independence, but I can't do this.
Eclipse, it is...
Because I don't have a claim on his title.
That's his power.
So that stinks. And then Margaret is no longer my court physician. She was my daughter, now my sister. And she's not even in my court anymore. Because, my mom, or my ex-wife, is over there. Alright, so he's got a better diplomacy, but his martial skill gives him a 40% bonus. So basically, he'll go up quicker, and see, look, he's already gotten a bunch of points. Remember how I had him as my marshal? So I'm starting out the game with him already having all these points, which is really good. I do get to pick which of these three I want. So I'm going to choose the strategy focus again to get that +3. And now the only difference, though, is I was 19 when I started the game. I'm 34. So, you sort of lose control. And then here I have a son who is already 14, and I don't even know who's educating him. But, he does have quick. He's got some decent stuff. Looks like he's being evenly trained there. So once he comes of age, he's doing a learning education, which is interesting. That's this one. Alright, and then my court. Now what I did was I lost my sister, I lost other people because they live in one of these other counties. That's the reason why I lost them. And here you could see that my wife, who I picked for a reason, because she has a really high one of these, so she can give me 1, 3, 1, 2, 1. Or I can do this, and she gives me +9. And since I'm going to be doing a lot of war, I'm going to go ahead and do that. She wants a position, and she has a decent diplomacy, so off she goes. Lamberto is still here, so he's doing awesome. My marshal, I definitely want a good marshal, but that's the best one I have. He's 60 years old. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, and then he's mangled and mauled and all kinds of stuff. He's disfigured. And then the spy master. Okay, you could say, hey, you know what, you need a good spy master skill. But you could have a crappy spy master, and it's not that big a deal. I'm not doing a lot of scheming, as you may have noticed, so she's not very helpful to me. The biggest thing she does is she prevents people from scheming against me. That's what this is. And having a low skill means that she may not detect a murder scheme as quickly as a level 15 to 20 would. Sorry, I had to yawn. I don't highly suspect people are going to try to murder me. I do have people that don't care for me very much because I'm a new liege. And you can see here the short reign is causing a -19 because I just took over the throne. The most important one, though, is I need this guy to start liking me, because otherwise I'm not getting the taxes from the church. But yes, I need to start taking over land, and these are all my brothers who I love very much. But
shut up.
So I can change the objective and go after East CX, or I can go after Somerset. I can only do one at a time. I'm going to do this one, but he has superior military compared to me. Oh, come on. Come on. So maybe we pick somebody else. How about this one?
Oh my god. Perfect thing.
He's got a superior military to me compared to me as well. How about this one? Also superior. What kind of military do I have? Only 894. So he just made me the marshal. So my liege, I think, well, he was making me the marshal of him. I don't know why I'm not showing up there.
Yeah, but this is immediately portrayed in the Bible. So, everyone,
You got a bit more confused.
So
than you think,
he
bud.
changed my contract. That jerk.
Oh, yeah, because they opened a trading trade.
Alright, I don't have much choice, so I'm gonna pick a brother and just let's get it done. Alright, so you can see I'm sieging him. I'm actually making really good progress. And boom. Already won. And then we're going to go try to kick him out of our area.
this is exactly
And my son came of age.
no one's gonna let
And he's the astute intellectual.
They're gonna call you out. They're gonna laugh at you.
Wait, so you're not in effect there?
Tell you that you're wrong.
So I just became the Marshal of Wessex. So it's going to give me an extra 2 prowess. My levy size is up. And I get extra experience. And boom.
You can't say that. There's no real.
I did win the battle, which is excellent.
Say that, but you don't know.
And I need to take the barony. So let's go over this way. So the one good thing, though, is I have 3, right? Because remember this extra castle was putting me over my limit? I'm not over the limit anymore. So I can get a lot more tax revenue now
Guess what's happening?
out of it. Although my stewardship is not nearly as good as my dad was. And he's declaring war on him, which is
You
fine.
don't have to argue with them.
And like I am in line to inherit things, but I'm like 3rd, 4th, 2nd. See, if I wait for it, it'll never happen.
And they'll suffer for it.
And yes, I can declare war on a bunch of people. I'm doing it, like I said, one at a time. And basically, I'm going to be able to do this. All right, so this guy is Franconian. I obviously want him to think highly of me. So I'm going to spend 75 points to get 10 opinion. I only have 80. So that is a bit of an issue. Or I can gain 75, but then I won't... oh, look, he's already plus 21. Never mind. I'm just going to gain 75 out of the deal. Getting his opinion up is not that important. I just needed him to get above 0. So now I'm getting money from the church.
I'm a host here.
And I just need to get this... Let's go back up to 5 speed.
I understand him bidding, but he bid like way too much.
And if I win this, there, I'm at 100%. And I'm going to enforce the demands. I get some fame. And ECX. Whoops. One of those should now be mine.
Like normal.
Oh, so my wife is pregnant again. That's decent. She's, what, 45? It's a little risky. Alright, so remember, you have to always disband your troops between wars.
Like, I'm bringing up the
And I guess I went to war for Somerset. So I ended up getting Somerset over here, which is fine. I'm taking it all, eventually. Let's have my guy work on restoring order.
That's also pretty true. Alien could mean the definition of it.
Alright, and I got another perk.
I'm pretty sure they both work.
So we're going to boost that up. Now, I don't think I can go right back to war against him because I think I have, I have a truce. So what I'm basically going to be doing is I'm just going to be playing hopscotch. So now, is there any one of these that doesn't like me more than the other? So now Philip's turn. So if I declare war on my claims, I can choose Wiltshire or Hereford. Let's do Wiltshire. Although he has an alliance with 2 people. It doesn't matter. Let's do it. Alright, and then I'm going to raise my armies again. Bing, bing, bing. Going to lead my own armies. And boom. Let's get it done. Alright. We inherited Nottinghamshire from Countess, so basically our mom died. And here's what happened. My stress, because my mom died, just sent me all the way past level 1. So I'm now level 1 stress. So I get a huge penalty. I have to pick which penalty I'm going to take. So here you can see somebody joined the war. My mom died. It gave me 24 stress. She drank herself to death. Ugh. So then, Lawrence got something. Joshua got something. Egbert. There was a line of succession. I ended up getting some land. So I can sequester myself, which gives me reclusive. Reclusive is very bad. It makes my diplomacy and stewardship go down. Actually, that's not so bad in this situation. It does mean I'm going to get less in taxes, but that's not as bad as some other things. And it will make 35 stress go down, but my wife won't care for me as much. Or you convert to a different religion. You don't want to do that. That creates all kinds of problems. Or I can say, nope, I'll be fine. And if I do that though, I'm gonna gain 30 more stress, which could put me to level 2. And I mean, I can still do like the host a feast, stuff like that. But I'm in the middle of a war, so I can't do that right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the reclusive, and I'm no longer overwhelmed by stress. So I was able to get the stress down by doing that. And then what happened was I took this land up here. So now I'm at my limit, actually. And I don't know what to do with this land up here. I mean, I'm glad Mom had it, but it's all the way on the other end of town. And so my wife had a son. Alexander sounds pretty good. Alright, so Alexander is intelligent. We like that. So let's educate the child. It'll probably be me. Yeah, I'm pretty good at all the skills. And what do we want him to be? Let's make him a good steward. Alright, and then let's see if we can take the siege, which we did. And now we want to break their siege. See if we can rinse it. Oh, no. Who's this? Oh my gosh. I got somebody kicking my butt. Who the heck is that?
We pretty much killed 3 instances off the bat.
So we didn't get her. She's usually a pretty good physician. She's blind. So I want a blind physician. She I lost the trait wounded, and she became a novice physician. Alright, so she did an awesome job. Alright, so for whatever reason, there was an army that attacked me. That must have been some raiding Vikings or something. It wiped me pretty low. I'm down to 898 troops. And then, yeah, so now I lost again.
Can we just play our own server? Okay.
And then boom, this guy died. Oh, so I lost my siege of London. That guy died, so what just happened? Who is my liege? Yep, it's her, like I thought. She basically got all of it. And so what I can do then is basically form a faction, and basically it's saying, okay, who is the person that should become king? And I apparently don't have any claims. This guy has all kinds of claims. So I'd have to be an independent. Oh boy, this is not working out well at all. I'm sitting here with just 700 troops. And here they come, they're wiping me out, and I'm going to lose so badly. I'm going to call this a loss. Because he's going to take back his land. I do have 630 troops. I can take his land. Not sure what good that's going to do me. There, I just took that. Let's get my London back. So I can declare war on Joshua again. See, these fly by way too fast when you got it on 5 speed. Sappers is really good. That's going to allow me to take a castle real quick. Okay, he's asking for a white piece, which I think I'm going to accept right now because my armies are pretty wiped out.
They have 2 ranches.
So I'm in bad shape. I never got the crown. I died, and all the accomplishments that I got was divided amongst my children, who, they all like me. I mean, we all like each other, but if you want to get powerful in this game, you know, them having their own, I mean, you'll never win these titles. You have to press the claim. If you don't press the claim, it becomes unpressed to your children, and then if they don't press the claim, it goes away, and then you never have any claim on the land ever again. So at some point you have to go to war with your family, and like, you know, you could see like, okay, there's all these vassals down here, these little these barons. You know, that was all my land, but because I never became independent, I could never create a duchy, which would have made me a duke. If I would have been a duke, I could have had all these guys, and they would have reported to me instead of to him, which is now her. So she took over, and guess what? All these barons are now reporting to her and giving her tax money instead of me. So this is where, when the game said that playing as Alfred is hard, this is the hard path. I mean, if you ever create your own game to play as him, your brother dies within like the first 5 years. I mean, he doesn't live long at all. So you're going to know pretty quickly if things are going to go your way or not. Obviously, if you want the challenge and you get into my scenario where not only did he not die, like if he would have lived as long as he did, that part was fine, but he ended up having children. It's the children part that hurt us. If he never had any children and he lived a long time, that would have been fine. We could have just happily, you know, managed our kingdom and just bided our time until we took over. Because he really would, I would have been next in line. Like, Alfred here would have been the next in line, and he would have become and inherited all of the kingdom. It's just that because of him having a daughter, it went to her. That's the problem. So, if you try your own game and you think it's fascinating to play as the England path, I think it's fun, to be quite honest. The England path is very challenging, as you can see. The decisions here, like I said, you'll be able to found a holy order. You saw how I did a holy war against the Vikings down here. It was really easy, and I can actually claim an entire duchy. You can actually claim an entire kingdom as long as you're a king yourself. But with this holy order, they'll have anywhere between 500 to 1,000, maybe even sometimes 2,000 troops.
can't
that
just read it.
at the click of a button, those troops will serve you. And they will only serve you, though, if you're at war with heathens. So if you're at war with, another vassal, they're not going to help you in that situation. But against Vikings, for sure they will. And so they're fantastic, because if you can muster a 2,000 troop army, they're going to give you an extra 1,000. So that'll give you that extra edge you need to beat them out. So that's the first thing that you do, and you do need to get your level of devotion up. That's the piety here. And then you need to have a kingdom. Well, that's easy peasy if your brother dies, right? You automatically get a kingdom if your brother dies. Then this negotiate the Danelaw. You have to be independent, which I wasn't this entire game. I'm still not, in fact. I still have fealty. You got to get your fame up, which we were doing with our other guy. You have to have a valid opponent, which would be the Vikings. And then you have to completely control at least 2 duchies, with de jure in England. And if you take over your brother's territory, you're going to actually have 4 duchies. Now, the brother doesn't create the title. So you may have to create the titles, which will cost you 250 each. So there's 4 duchies total that you can create. All you have to do is create 2 of them. So you could be like, the Duke of Wessex and the Duke of East Anglia, or the Duke of whatever, right? Kent is one of them. The Hwicce, Hwicce, however you pronounce that. So once you become the Duke of 2, then you can negotiate the Danelaw. Yes. Now, what happens is you actually become, you're no longer the petty king of Wessex. You become the king of England. And the only other way to become a king is you have to have 31 territories, which is an amazingly amount of territories. You could become the king of England with only those 4 dukes, 4 duchies. And you literally are considered a king. So the dukes report to you. So you're now up another layer. And as a king, you can hold 2 duke titles yourself. So you can keep 2 of your 4 duchies as yours, but the other 2 have to belong to somebody else. Usually you give them to your heir or whatever. So then, as a king, you have so much more power. And then you can diplomatically annex your neighbors. So like Cornwall, for example, they'll just join you. And the reason they'll join you is because you have like higher military strength than them, and they're willing to just be your vassal. And so, boom, they'll just join your kingdom. East Anglia will also join your kingdom. So Cornwall here will join you. East Anglia will join you. Most of Mercia will join you. These guys will never join you. And then this guy's a little pain in the butt too. He won't join you. Some of them will if they become like just 1 county kingdoms over here. Right now he's got several counties. But like if Gwent will join you. But a lot of this, because this is all considered the Kingdom of Wales, so they're less willing to join you. But I even got like some of Ireland to join me diplomatically. I got Desmond here to join me, and then eventually I got Ormond. So I even had these 2. And I was able to get all my land all the way up to just north of Lothian here. So I was connected to Alba, which is its own kingdom. So I was the king of England, Alba the king of Scotland, and there was a king of Ireland. And I had a couple pieces of land here, and I was all the way up to here. But that was a fantastically fun game to be able to do that. And we kicked the Vikings completely off. But they still continued to raid us, which was interesting.
We need more spawn points, though.
And
Can I go into
it makes for a very fun game. Now, as you may have guessed, I am quitting. I'm more than happy to do another game if you guys are interested in watching. I'm even willing to do another game of this same character. I just don't want to keep playing this one. Like this is playable. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm in a bad spot. It may take multiple generations for me to get out of this spot, but the game will let you do it. I mean, it's hundreds of years. I mean, there's no rush in this game. But like, in my opinion, you can become a king of England really fast, and I've done it like a dozen times already. So it's very frustrating to be playing and having only 2 provinces. Like, what I wanted to be able to show you is when I became King of England, how I'm building up Kent and London to be powerhouses, and I'm going to be getting 30 to 40 tax money a month, even though I'm fielding these large armies, and that's what I wanted to show you. But obviously, this was a hard difficulty start, and sure enough, the hardness definitely came for reality here. Couple of things I wanted to also explain.
Behind you.
Playing as the big nations, like France, as you can see, Aquitaine didn't even exist when 867 started the scenario. The France king had all of this. And you can see how it's splintered. And then, like, Lotharingia usually gets trounced. I told you that Italy usually gets trounced. I mean, look, Italy is just a complete mess here. So that's what Italy is supposed to be. And it just completely divided up. These guys backstab you, and it's like the old Medici stuff, So much backstabbing in politics here. So it splintered into just a bunch of duchies. And then, look, even Germany split. So this was all one kingdom as well, and now it's a bunch of little kingdoms. So there's no longer giant kingdoms here. It's a bunch of duchies. The Francia is holding on at least, but he got split in half. So where am I going with all this? What I'm trying to tell you is they're not easy. They're extremely challenging to play, all 3 of them. So don't think that just because they're large, they're easier. They're not. The intrigue in the court and the number of people trying to murder you, and that's where the scheming and stuff really gets. So if you really want to try that aspect of the game, definitely go there because you'll get it. The Count of Montague is interesting, but look, he's all absorbed. He's gone. He's like a one-trick pony, but he is fun. He's powerful. When you play as the Vikings, they fight amongst each other quite a bit. So, I had this big vision that I was going to be able to just raid England forever. It doesn't work quite that well. Although you can see here, he formed Sweden. This is one of the starting guys that you can be. And obviously it's a different king. But he formed Sweden, which is pretty cool. The fact that they have this faith, you can see they're a warmonger. They earn piety by executing people. You see what I mean? So, like, morally, you have to play a completely different game when you're them. You have to execute people. We're born in blood. We survive by blood. Extremely different in terms of, like, when those little choices come up and, you're honest and just, well, here you're merciless and, brutal. And that's what you need to be to play along and to get your piety up. And then you can pick different avatars and stuff. And they got concubines, so you'll have, like, multiple wives. It's actually not multiple wives. It's a wife and multiple concubines. So you'll have lots and lots of children, and the rules are going to be different, and there's all kinds of stuff here. The Novgorod guy, as you can see, got really powerful, but same deal. It's just tribal. When you play Novgorod, you're tribal just like these guys are. The difference is that you're not a Viking, right? So here's what I mean. First of all, you're going to be a different culture and religion than the Vikings, because these guys are the Ashtaru, right, or Satru, or however you pronounce it. So you have a choice to start as this guy or as, I think, Denmark. I mean, you could play anybody you want, but I mean, in terms of, like, the recommended starts, these two are more or less the same. You're raiding either England or you're raiding France, right? So you're just constantly raiding people, taking money and then coming home, and of course you're pleasing your blood gods. If you're playing as Novgorod, you're not necessarily raiding Europe, but you're still tribal. So you have all that tribal stuff going on. You could have the concubines, all that other stuff. Here you can see it's a different religion. Like they're focused on nature, ritual celebrations, and communal identity. I mean, so you have to study the different religions and make sure that your choices, like here, the virtue of, so being gregarious is a virtue. I mean, it's very close actually to, I mean, they're at least theocratic. But anyways, the point I'm getting at is there's some really interesting choices. And like I said, I never tried playing yet as an Asian nation. And that includes the Indian territory, which has amazing development. So you can get some really serious tax money down here. I've also been curious to try one of these African ones, or especially Abyssinia, which is actually like a little Christian. It's Ethiopia, basically. And you can see here in this game, they're not doing very well.
Can we get actual bases?
You can create your own ruler, and I made myself
They're building a
the
base
Duke of
in the first one.
Jerusalem. And I made myself Jewish and Jewish religion, and I did an independence war against Abbasid, the liege here. I declared independence from them, and I actually won. However, then I was this single nation all by myself, surrounded by Muslims who hated me, which is very thematic. And they all declared war on me and trounced me, like 20 years later. So I didn't last very long. The Byzantine Empire is very powerful, but they're a lot like the other ones. You're going to be backstabbed, and people are trying to do all kinds of stuff to you. You need a very solid spy master if you're going to be him. But as you can see, the Byzantine Empire is still holding strong, and you pretty much can. I mean, that one, if you're going to do an empire, I would recommend that one. The other interesting start is Astorius. You are not as strong as the Muslims, and you can see here that he's getting beaten back a bit. That's your largest challenge when you try to play in Iberia in 867. The Italian states are really non-existent. There's Salerno, and the original guy you get, is extremely like his specialty is spy master. So you basically have a very deceitful leader. He wants to backstab people. It's a different type of game. The biggest problem with Salerno is you don't have a strong army, and going up against the Muslims that control this area, it's really hard. As you can see, the Byzantines have taken it all over, but if you do an 867 start, you're up against Muslims and all of this, and you sort of have to wait for the Byzantines to declare war and then sort of like gobble up your land while the Byzantines are keeping them beaten down. The Benevento, or whatever this is called, they've actually lost land. They actually start with more land, and so you could start with them to be a little bit stronger.
Big boy.
And then Naples is weak. Same reason that Salerno is weak. But these are two like single county countries. The Pope was going bonkers. He's taken over all this land. This used to belong to Spoleto family, so I don't know what happened there. I wasn't paying attention, but the Pope is just going crazy, taking over Italy here. But anyways, you get the gist. Another strong start, I've been told, is Bohemia, but in 1066. And I think I talked about that in my first video. There are so many countries here I have not tried. I'm enjoying so much just playing the England one that I've been doing that over and over again. And that's what I wanted to show you. And I did, even though the way it played out was completely different than any of my previous times. And I'm a little pleased by that. Even though I'm not happy with the outcome, it was still fun. And so, yeah, if you want to see another playthrough, just let me know. I will definitely be continuing to play this quite a bit more. With both of my kids chatting in the background, I'm already a little embarrassed. I'm doing a video and have all this background chatter. So I'm at least going to call it for tonight. And feel free to leave a comment if you'd like to see more. And as always, thank you for watching. Stay awesome. And no, my camera is still broken, so I cannot do board game playthroughs at the moment. And yes, I need to get that replaced. It's a big purchase. So, anyways, I've been a little stingy about that and just playing my video games in the meantime. So, apologies there. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome.